This is the Hit Pause podcast coming at you with a little bonus episode.
Another bonus.
We have
David.
and Iman here. And today we're just going to be chatting a little bit about a certain bit of drama
That's been popping up.
And that is drama regarding Jake Paul.
Yeah, we'll talk about Jake again.
I mean, he doesn't often have a lot of drama going on.
Of course not. He's the world's innocent guy.
I mean, he loves it either way. I mean, great for publicity.
Yeah, although in this case, we'll go into it. I don't think he does. He's not taking it too well. So what has happened?
So the big thing that's happened over the past week is the Martinez twins, who are two Spanish twins who have been in the Team 10 house working with Jake Paul for
like just a couple months, like 6.
All right, I didn't know that, but like about 6 months.
Like as Team 10, like maybe they had their own channel and were in America a bit longer, but as Team 10 and in the house, I heard just 6 months.
No, dude, they moved to America to be in Team 10.
So straight away.
Yeah, they had their own popular channel over in
Spain.
I can't remember exactly where they're from, but and then they moved over to America to be in Team 10.
Okay.
And
so yeah, don't do the research. Don't listen to us. It could be 6 months, could be a bit longer, but roughly.
And these guys are two young guys who basically came to America not really speaking English.
Yeah.
They joined up with Jake, and seemingly in the videos, they're all good buddies, getting along really well, making lots of videos, lots of content together, blah, blah, blah.
An equal member in the house, therefore just what Team 10 do is just make a lot of shit, a lot of pranks, and all that stuff. They seem like they were part of the family.
Exactly. And in the past week, the twins have announced that they are leaving the Team 10 house. However, they haven't just said they're leaving.
Yeah, because we've had people who have left, but these are the first people to leave with a statement.
Yeah. You know, other people left, it's just, hey, differences, whatever. We're just going to do our own thing now. Like the Spice Girls, you know, they go off and do their own thing.
Yeah.
But the Martinez twins have said, they've released a statement in a video, and they've essentially said, David, do you want to summarize it?
Jake Paul is a bully and difficult to work and live with.
Exactly.
Now, we've, in our previous podcast, talked about Jake and said he's a businessman and he could probably get on your nerves, but I never thought he would go as far as making someone's life difficult.
I mean, from what they say, it's like their life was hell.
Yeah, and they were scared to live there. So, like, the breakdown of why...
the fear.
Exactly. Well, like, the breakdown of why it felt like hell was these pranks, which is all Team 10's all about. And apparently Jake would wake up in the morning and there's like, they showed footage in there. I'll link the video to their, complaint or statement or whatever.
To check that in the comments.
And, so apparently he would come in the morning with like tasers or like just spraying stuff whilst they're sleeping. There was one
handcuffing them to the bed.
Yeah. And then when he was sawing it, that actually looked dangerous. He was like, it was
their bunk bed, and he was sawing the top half off. That looked like it was going to collapse.
In fairness, why the hell did the twins not get out? But then that kind of leads to their point. Apparently, when Jake goes too far in these examples, if they back out or say stop, that won't be in the video. And 2, he would call them pussies. Apparently,
he would basically bully them into doing things they didn't want to do.
Yeah,
and with the pranks and things, like David,
I can imagine that is true though.
Like you say with the pranks, you know, that's what they do in the Team 10 house. But the point is, he was doing it to them and pretty much only them. Yeah, and it actually comes out in the videos. If you watch the videos, you can see the Martinez twins are getting pranked more than anyone else.
They get the most. I won't say that the others don't get pranked.
Yeah.
Chad Tepper, the oldest, the guy with the tattoos and stuff. In fairness, he actually kind of volunteers to do pranks or to be pranked. But the others are just like sauce in the showers. You know, nothing violent. These guys seem like they went through a bit more.
Yeah. And the added layer on top of this is that the twins, like we said, came over not even really speaking English.
Yeah.
So they were getting pranked and getting laughed at, and Jake was basically making fun of them in a language they didn't even understand, which is not cool. Like, you can, tease your friends and things, and everyone can laugh.
They can laugh about it, but if they're not laughing, you would stop.
Yeah, there's a big difference between teasing. If you're teasing and someone is also in on the joke, and they're okay with it, that's fine. But if someone is teasing and they can't even understand what you're saying, it's too far, you know?
And then, so like on that point, there was a bit where apparently, I forget what the racist term for Mexicans.
It was
Beanos or something.
Beaner.
And he was. I don't know. I've not seen the footage of it, but the Martinez twins said that he was saying their surname to rhyme with that.
Yeah, it was like Martina
or something,
and
like
also
that.
just straight up calling them that, which is, you know, not cool. Especially at the time as well, they didn't even know what the word meant.
Yeah. I think they even said their fans let them know, or just like over time, they kind of got the message. Okay, so that's that. Basically.
That's their point of view. That is what the Martinez twins are saying, and they've left because of that. They were basically from what they say, they were getting harassed in the house. They had no privacy. They were getting bullied in a language they didn't understand. They were getting pranked way more than anyone else.
They couldn't take it anymore. And apparently, they went through streams as to getting it resolved. So they would talk to Nick. Apparently they talked to Jake as well, but they weren't being heard. So they decided to leave.
Exactly.
Cool. So that's one side of the story.
And the other side now is Jake's response. Actually, he hasn't done that much in the way of response.
Yeah, he has not made a video like he's done for his brother Logan or Rice Gum or any of that. He's actually handled this a lot different than what we would expect.
He mentioned it, literally, basically barely mentioned it in a recent video where they kind of said, oh my God, Jake's crying about the Martinez twins. It's like, oh, I haven't cried for 4 years. This is me crying. I don't know. None of it just didn't seem at all real.
Yeah.
But aside from that, he's also put out some tweets and things.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about the tweets?
If I can remember them correctly, I think the tweets kind of just cover him showing old text messages roughly when they actually got deported. I don't know how true that story was, but when they got deported and went back to Spain, and that was the same time Jake was buying this new Team 10 house. These text messages are just showing like, oh, I miss you, oh, I love you, when are you going to be back? Kind of just showing that the Martinez twins are lying, that of course he cared about them because he always expected them to come back. Yeah. But again, obviously these text messages can just be like picking the best ones out of the bunch, you know, like delete all the ones that say I hate you and like you pussy and stuff like that. But that is Jake's side.
So he's actually so I'm just going to skim through a few of his tweets now, and literally he's actually tweeted about this quite a lot.
Yeah, he's got a couple.
Since 2 days ago, it's kind of been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10, 10 tweets about this. So the first kind of big one, he kind of basically says, I've been backstabbed by more people than I've ever met. And it's kind of, he says specifically, I don't want to play victim and things, but he's basically saying, look, I did those guys a solid. Like his main thing is I paid for those guys. I gave those guys a job. I paid for them to come to America.
Which also every Team 10 member, paid or not paid or whatever, manipulated or not manipulated, have all said, yeah, Jake brought them from nothing, blah, blah, blah. In fairness, that's good. But that doesn't really mean anything in essence of what's happened. But I do see where Jake's coming from, where the whole media is after him and they always like to get the big guy down, you know what I mean? And I do feel like he's against the ropes. So, of course, he's going to send messages like that, innocent or not innocent.
Exactly. Jake is, I don't know, he has a tendency to, he always ends up, everybody loves to hate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can see why, like, fair enough.
Yeah.
But it kind of, there is a part of that. He did do a lot for the twins. However, I can see why it would be absolute hell to live in that house.
I've had dreams where I've enjoyed my stay there. I think I would be fine. I actually also believe that, I don't know if the twins knew, but I believe they know what they signed up for.
Exactly.
Or they should have.
Exactly. And, you know, they sign up for Team 10. Team 10 is, we live in the same house together.
And shit goes down. You are not...
We don't live separately.
You are always a target.
Exactly. And I mean, you signed up for it. I mean, okay, fine. If you don't like it, you can move out. It's not as if you put in tons of complaints or anything. Like maybe you had a little chat with Nick,
and it's not like you were there during the startup and maybe like Jake asked everyone put 50 grand in and you're just staying there just so you can make your money back. Like, you can leave. But that also brings up a quick point that we can bring up about apparently they did not get paid at all.
So they had some issues because they were brand new in the country. They had issues with bank accounts and things.
Which, in fairness, they're right. You can have an account if you're foreign. I don't know, maybe their age was a factor. I can't imagine Nick or anyone there. Like, they have businessmen. They have account teams. Like, if they needed to pay them, they would do it.
So what they said is basically Jake Paul and the Team 10 group were holding back our pay, not letting us have it.
And then they went the sympathy route, which can also be a valid route of their mum needed the money and Jake was holding it, so to speak.
So what I will say is, if we're just talking, if we get rid of a bit of the drama and we're just talking kind of business terms, Team 10 is a business after all, and they're employees. So when they first came to the country, they say, oh, we didn't have our own room for months. Okay, I'm assuming in their contract, it probably says we should, we get our own room.
Yeah.
So you could say, hey, they didn't really live up to the contract there. Then with the payment thing as well, like, hey, okay, if they're not actually getting the money, even if they're asking for it, then maybe they're not living up to the contract there either.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also, then besides that, there's all this kind of drama on top of it about Jake basically acting like kind of an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of points that are to and fro and on both sides. I don't think anyone is in the right.
Okay, yes. Like, I think the Martinez twins haven't dealt with this in a mature way.
Yeah.
But I also definitely think Jake Paul, the way he treated them, not knowing the language and things, he made them pretend to have sex with each other. Like,
Gee, I won't lie, in that Martinez video, it does make it look very grim. Like when he was tearing down the wall and, like you said, making them like do the twin.
So he tore down their fan art wall with an axe. It's just rude, man. Come on.
It is rude.
It's fan art.
And in fairness, like, just think about you and your family. Like, if you had a family of like 4 kids, like even myself, like you do some shit. I've broken or like maybe damaged my sister's teddy bear. Like, it's bad. But when you make a video and there's loads of people watching, it looks worse.
Exactly.
So I do feel for Jake, but he screwed up in that sense.
But to be honest, any drama with Jake is basically, the conclusion is always Jake is young. He's kind of an idiot. Yeah. He's over energetic. Yeah. And he screwed up.
And he's bound to. And I don't think he actually means it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's bad intent. We've always said he's the nicer one out of him and his brother.
Yeah.
But,
But again, my opinion, I think Martinez twins ultimately are on the better side. Although they haven't been mature about it, but I kind of support them.
Yeah. And for me, I'm okay with Jake's status right now. I
don't think he did anything that bad.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad. For their age and being new into the country, it would have been worse how they felt. But if that was like, if they treated that Justin Roberts kid that they make fun of, if they treated him the same way, it wouldn't have gone down like this.
They built him a house in the garden. Like, and they don't tease him all the time.
Yeah, they don't respect him at all.
But he gets up, he jokes with them.
Yeah.
He understands what they're saying, so it's a bit...
Yeah.
But anyway, that's our take on the situation.
There is one last bit, though.
Okay, go ahead.
So Jake Paul's dad did a, what do you call it? Reaction video or whatever. And he was trying to say that the new agent...
So just for some context, Jake Paul's dad actually gets involved with a lot of running of the business.
I don't know if that was in the early stages when Jake was apparently young, so he had to be. So before he was legal age.
I think he might still be involved.
Might still be, right, yeah. Because, I mean, their house looks really amazing. Yeah. So the dad's kind of involved, and then he made a reaction video on his YouTube channel of how the Martinez twins are now under an agent who used to be Jake Paul's agent that they fired, his dad, Jake's dad, fired because of, let's just say, the agent wasn't good to work with. They had bad intentions. He's not going into too much detail, obviously, because he doesn't want to slander the person, but he's just trying to say, to have an open mind, that if the twins are now with that agent, the agent could have easily said, this is a good idea as a first video.
Yeah. So basically this agent saying, hey guys, you should make a bad video about
Jake look bad.
Gonna get some good publicity, and it's gonna help you, go off on your own again.
Get some sympathy subscribers.
Yeah,
but, like in fairness,
subscribers.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind. By the way, so yeah, like it's just a thing to note that even if he is bad, they could have just made it slightly worse at the little extra by the agent. So, like, for anyone who's watching or who has watched those videos, just take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And they're also young. They're, like, 20. So, like, who really cares?
Yeah, you'll be over this in, 6 months.
Just watch the news, actual news.
So that's our take on the situation. I hope you're all brought up to date now. Yeah. And this has been the Hip Pause Podcast.
Thanks, Jake.